keep having the same dream. Everywhere I look, people are being replaced.
Okay, and who do you think is going to have you replaced?
Them. The puppet masters.
Just to defend Big Head Girl, let me tell you something. The message of the movie is to be that bitch. That's the message that they wrote a script that's telling girls, I don't need nobody tells me I'm a 20-year-old girl, so obviously I should run my mouth all the time. That's the theme of the new Snow White.
No, really?
Yes.
Gretel, we should go now.
Look, the White Savior Act is starting. Does he even realize how this looks?
Oh yes, how embarrassing.
I revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film. I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
This is not like the traditional Prince Charming in
Tell
tights.
by the hair.
Yeah, the
That's
hair,
right.
he's
Wearing
kind of
anything.
scruffy.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has a hoodie.
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows?
Who the hell are you to say all of Andrew's scenes could get cut? Like, who are you?
Oh my God.
Are you Disney? What is the premise? What is the
It's a
story?
love story.
Rachel Zegler is back in the headlines. And no, it ain't because she booked a hit movie or gave a fire red carpet look. Nope, it's because she's suing the South Park producers for bullying her in that chaotic, savage episode they dropped. And it's not just a roast. This was pure animated slaughter.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?
Let's see.
Excuse me, your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you? Spare me your white savior complex. I don't need anything from someone like you.
Now, before we even dive in, let's be real. Rachel's career was already hanging on by a thread after that whole woke Snow White mess. You remember, the tone-deaf interviews, the side-eyes from Disney fans, and the way she basically said she didn't even like the OG Snow White. Like, why take the role then? And it's not just South Park. Other creators have jumped on the clown train too. They out here reimagining Rachel as a woke Gretel in parody films now. Yes, y'all, woke Gretel. You can't make this stuff up. So now the million-dollar question, is the lawsuit justified? Or is this just another PR stunt from a fallen star who got booted from Disney and now needs someone to blame?
Rachel Zegler, who stars as Snow White, condemned Prince Charming as weird and a stalker, adding that she hates the original. Nice start. Leaked photos from the set revealed that the 7 dwarves had been sensationally axed, replaced by multiracial, gender non-specific, magical humans.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
Saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming
So
about
she's gonna die.
true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can. I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Here, so the reason we had Rachel Zegler on the docket is she's an asshole. That's number one.
It is, and it's really mean to put her next to Gal Gadot, who's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
So
It's not fair.
Let's dive headfirst because there's a lot to unpack here. What South Park did next? Alright, so let's start with the episode that started the war. South Park joining the Panderverse. Let me just say this, it wasn't a lil shade. This was a drag for Disney, Rachel, and literally the entire reboot culture.
It's Kathleen Kennedy, stop ruining everything! But Kathleen Kennedy is all like, put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame! And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down! And then Bob Iger is all like, no, what's going on with my stocks? No, Kathleen Kennedy! Ah! Oh, it happened again, didn't it?
The episode introduced this character based on Kathleen Kennedy, you know, the head of Lucasfilm and the mastermind behind a lot of Disney's newer direction. In the episode, she holds this magical little object called the Panderstone, and what does it do? Y'all, it lets her swap out every character in Hollywood for someone more diverse, more inclusive, and in South Park's words, more woke. And when I say the satire was brutal, they didn't hold back. The whole thing boiled down to this line right here.
Kennedy, I don't think I've ever said this before in my life, but I'm sorry. I lashed out so hard and used the C word so many times you didn't really have a choice but to double down.
Eric, I know you care about all things Disney. I'm sorry I was so reckless with the things that you love. It was just lazy.
I guess just wailing on woke stuff all the time is pretty lazy too.
That was the line, and they torched every strategy Disney has been running with. And of course, Snow White, especially with Rachel Zegler as the face of it, was right in the line of fire. Disney was already getting cooked in the press, but South Park made sure there was no meat left on the bones. So while Disney was getting dragged by South Park and the internet was eating it up, Daily Wire Studios saw an opportunity and pounced. They said they'll give the viewers what they want. They announced a new live-action Snow White remake, only this time they said it would be propaganda-free, true to the original story, and nothing like Disney's version. No gender swaps, no political messages, no corporate checklists, just classic Snow White. And I know some people are like, okay, but what politics are y'all even talking about? Let me break it down for you. First off, Disney cast a Latina actress, Rachel Zegler, as Snow White, which in itself was controversial since Snow White is literally named for her pale skin in the original fairy tale. Second, instead of casting actual dwarves, they used CGI characters. And no shade, but Hollywood has so many talented little people actors who would have killed those roles, like Peter Dinklage, a legend. And he even called out the casting decision himself. So yeah, people had reason to be pressed.
Yeah, so now if you notice the spin on it, they're putting it all on her. I mean, I'm sure she sucks, but she is very young.
She's a fucking kid, right?
She didn't write that script though, right? And I don't think she made the no dwarves decisions. That was Sir Peter Dinklage.
That was crazy, right?
The script was
Wait a
screwed
minute,
from
how
the
much
start.
did this cost? They should get doged looking at this movie. They spent $250 million making that movie. But imagine you spend $250 million and you get some young girl and you don't kind of talk to her about like, hey, you know, don't get political. You're young, and I know you have opinions about things, but this should be just about the movie.
Well,
let's just
to defend Big Head Girl, let me tell you something. The message of the movie is to be that bitch. That's the message that they wrote a script that's telling girls, I don't need nobody tells me. I'm a 20-year-old girl, so obviously I should run my mouth all the time. That's the theme of the new Snow White.
Just came out showing that the Snow White movie replaced the 7 dwarves with 7 average people instead. Do you think Disney made the right choice doing this?
Oh, wow. I didn't think this was going to be the question today. It's funny you should ask this because a buddy of mine, were talking about this the other day, and it's perfect timing for this because of all the AI and all that like SAG and the Writers Guild are going through. It's a bad thing. I'm not agreeing with it. One, because what they're doing is pretty much you're replacing jobs that people could have as little people. Snow White and the 7 dwarfs, it's 4 dwarfs.
Now, Rachel being Rachel, she just had to make things worse again. She decided to double down on the drama by hopping on social media and wilding out. She said cryptic things like F Trump supporters and even went publicly hard for the Free Palestine movement. Now, nothing wrong with speaking your mind, but y'all, timing is everything. Because guess what? Her co-star Gal Gadot is Israeli and actually served in the Israeli army.
The star of Snow White and the Disney movie. Remember, she was out like a couple years ago being like, there's certainly not going to be a prince rescuing me. I can tell you that. And then even Disney got on its heels and they're like, we're going to reshoot the movie immediately. Like, we're going to make some changes because there was so much backlash to her arrogance and just inanity. Well, she's back and she's very, very upset about the Trump win. Okay. This is a post she made on X. Here's what she posted. And by the way, she's starring right now in Broadway's Romeo and Juliet, so don't go see that. Okay, she writes, I find myself speechless in the midst of this. Another 4 years of hatred, leaning us towards a world I do not want to live in, leaning us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. P.S. She has no daughter. She has no children at all. Leading us towards a world that will force her, who's her, your daughter who doesn't exist, okay, to have a baby she doesn't want.
So obviously people were going to put 2 and 2 together and come for her neck. It got so bad that Disney had to put a social media manager on her accounts to filter everything before it went live. Like, that's next level damage control. But the part that really turned fans off, Rachel literally called herself a narcissist in an old interview. And let's be real, Between shading her co-stars, complaining about the original Snow White, and alienating half the fan base, people believed her.
Gal Gadot plays the evil queen.
Yeah.
You play Snow White.
I do.
Guillermo's like 3 of the dwarves, I think, right?
Yeah, 4.
4 of the dwarves.
Blancanieves, see?
Yeah, Blancanieves. Yeah.
That's a fun thing to be part of.
Incredible.
Especially now you go to, well, you can't even go to Disneyland anymore. Have you ever been to that Snow White ride at Disneyland?
I get stopped for photos every time I'm online for the Snow White ride, and it is I have to pretend like, oh God, well, crazy that we're in front of this.
Wait, how often are you in line for the Snow White ride?
I'm a narcissist.
And in one of her interviews, yes, another one, Rachel casually dropped a lil nugget about her co-star, Andrew Burnap. And by casually, I mean she threw that man under the bus with a smile on her face. She said some of Burnap's scenes might not even make it into the final version of the movie. Mind you, this man is literally playing the male lead. Whether he's Prince Charming or not, this is a major Disney character. And the thing is, it wasn't confirmed. It wasn't even a question she had to answer. But Rachel said it anyway, like she was just talking about her weekend plans or something.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. Yeah. It's one of those things that I think everyone's gonna have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood.
Like, imagine you're Andrew, trying to support this film, maybe getting your little red carpet outfit together, only to find out from your co-star that your role might be chopped out the movie before it even hits theaters. That's not giving leadership, y'all. That's giving main character syndrome with a side of PR disaster.
All right, Snow Pumpkin Spice Latte, your reign of woke terror is over. It's time for you to go to the void.
Do you know who I am? This is a new era, and I'm here to deconstruct the heteronormative fairy tale archetype.
Zip it, Zegler!
I am a strong
I know I can't take no more. It ain't no lie. I want to see you out that door. Baby, bye, bye, bye. By the way, all your scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. Oh, sweet, sweet silence.
And here's where people got really confused. If this reboot Snow White isn't about love and there's no prince, then what's the point of the whole fairy tale? I mean, that's literally the core of the story. Even The Simpsons had time to clock Rachel Zegler and the Snow White mess. And get this, The Simpsons is technically under the Disney umbrella now, so for them to go this hard, nobody's safe. So here's what went down. The Simpsons dropped their own savage parody, and y'all, it was shade from the very first frame. Their version, it's called Snow Woke the Reimagining. They didn't even try to hide it, it was a straight up jab at Disney's live action remake, and let's be real, at Rachel Zegler too.
Take a bite, dearie. Uh-oh. You'll never take me alive! Ooh, herbivores. I'm so scared.
So Snow White slept and waited for her prince to come, but he never did.
The episode takes the whole girl power angle and blows it all the way up into a satire bomb. In the parody, Snow White gets brought back to life, but not by Prince Charming. Nope. She's revived by a lady doctor, because as they put it, a woman shouldn't have to depend on a man. Now listen, I love me some feminist energy, but this wasn't empowering, it was mocking.
She's beautiful.
Maybe she's been placed under some kind of a curse.
And all that will wake her is the kiss of a handsome...
I'm awake already. Goodbye.
Now beware of the evil...
Now let's move from network TV to YouTube, because some of the harshest roasts, they didn't come from SouthPark. Nope, they came from a little animation duo called Beanie Brothers. And y'all, they did not hold back. Beanie Brawlers dropped a 60-second parody of Disney's Snow White and it blew up. We're talking 1 million+ views in just days. And get this, the parody was done in exactly the tone Rachel Zegler said she wanted for the real movie. Dark, modern, no prince, no romance, and a girl boss heroine who don't need nobody. Except they made it hilariously awful on purpose. The parody opens with Snow White literally cussing out the dwarves, dragging the original story, and refusing to be saved. Instead, she talks about rewriting her own destiny and becoming a strong female CEO or something. And if that sounds familiar, it's because it is. That's literally what Rachel had been saying in interviews. She didn't want the story to be about love. She didn't care for the prince. She was gonna discover herself, and people were like, girl, who asked for that?
Hey, Snow Blight!
Oh, look! Another relic of toxic masculinity.
Ah, I can smell that gas you're lighting from here, and it smells like hate. My princess, we could use some water. Peter Dinklage! They must have scrapped that awful CG. Oh my You're playing all 7 of them now, aren't you? You scheming little imp.
Hey, no breaks! Get back to work!
Yes, princess.
And whistle while you work!
And the YouTube roast didn't stop there. In one parody, Snow White even refuses the warning about the poison apple. She bites it on purpose, saying she's done living under the patriarchy. Like, who writes this stuff? It's both comedy and social commentary. And get this, the prince doesn't even kiss Snow White. No. He kisses the evil witch who magically turns into her hot self again. Y'all, I wish I was kidding.
Diverse, inclusive, and equitable! I will become the leader I know I can be! All shall love me and despair!
Get away from her, you hideous hag! Oh, what has she done to you? Fear not, first love's kiss can break any curse.
And the fans? Oh, they went in. One top comment said, "What's sad is that that's exactly how she looks and acts like, with no exaggeration." The internet is cold. And if you think this roast was just a joke, let me remind you, Beanie Bros weren't even the only ones dragging her. There's a whole animation trend now mocking woke princesses, and Rachel is the face of it. Let me just give y'all a quick mention that had the internet screaming, the Hansel and Gretel animation. So picture this. Rachel is playing Gretel, obviously. They're walking through the forest, and Hansel sees the creepy old house. He's trying to warn her like, hey, maybe let's not go into the literal witch's den. But nope. Woke Gretel is not here for any of that. She's like, don't mansplain to me, Hansel. I can make my own choices. Like, he's trying to save you from being cooked alive. But she's in full girl boss mode and refuses to listen. Even when she sees the iron cage with the word help scratched into the wall, she still walks straight in. No hesitation.
Gretel, look at this. Doesn't this worry you?
Hansel, you're projecting your insecurities again. Typical white fragility.
You understand the struggle, my child. Now, why don't you help me bake some equity cookies? Gretel, we should go now.
Look, the White Savior Act is starting.
So after months of dragging, countless parodies, and getting turned into the poster child for Hollywood wokeness gone wrong, Rachel Zegler is spiraling. And honestly, who wouldn't be? Let's keep it a buck. She tanked an entire blockbuster. Disney poured millions into the Snow White remake, y'all. And for what? No ticket sales, empty theaters, a whole marketing tour that backfired. It was giving flop era. No cap. Disney took an L so loud the whole industry heard it, and they don't forget that kind of money loss. So now, Rachel's name is low-key blacklisted in casting rooms. And here's the thing, she knows it. Rumors were already floating around that Rachel had quietly filed a lawsuit against Disney, probably trying to blame them for not protecting her brand or whatever. But y'all, that's not even the main drama now. Word on the curb is, Rachel is now going after SouthPark's producers. Yup, suing. As in legal documents might be drafted up as we speak. Why? Because of that now infamous joining the Panderverse special that turned her into a walking meme. She's mad they used her likeness and further damaged her reputation. But now I want to ask you this, do you think Rachel was just misunderstood, or did she really fumble her own bag? Should she be suing over parodies, or is that just making things worse? And honestly, with all this backlash, is there even a way for her to bounce back? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. I want to hear it all. And if you want to stay caught up with every twist, turn, and celeb spirals like this one, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss the drama. I got you covered every time the internet breaks.